Okay. So just had to make sure we're recording. So good morning, good afternoon, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Friday live stream for September 18th, 2020. We're so happy to be having the live stream debut of our Public Information Officer, Claudia Melendez. But before we get going on that, as we remind you every week, please send all your questions to edtech@lsl.org. It goes to all three of us so it doesn't languish in somebody's email inbox. And we have something special for you. So that was our little teaser promo for Alisal Tech Conference for this October October 12th, 2020. As you can see, as I said last week, we are using Wreck-It Ralph 2. Alisal Teachers Break the Internet. Yesterday, we had an orientation for prospective presenters, and the question was asked, why are you saying that? And props to the ETL from MLK, Jonathan Din, who said, I think this might personify how some people are feeling, especially if you've seen that movie, and Ralph's overwhelmed when he realizes the vastness and the speed of the internet. And I think we're all feeling that overwhelm, but the idea of overcoming that and rallying, and the idea that the internet's not going to break us here in Alisal. We're going to break back on the internet. We're going to figure out how to make remote instruction our own. And this event has always been and will continue to be, for the foreseeable future, Alisal presents Alisal, the same way Good Teaching Conference is in the spring. In February, I guess, is the winter. But when I sent out the email about presenting, I said, will you share your story? I think that we know that this takes so much more time than brick and mortar instruction. And I think that it can feel like sharing the story and hearing what other people are doing and what their successes are and sharing their challenges maybe has gotten away from us. And we're hoping that through some of these presentations, through some of these sessions, that these will be a chance to hear some of what is working and maybe what are challenges for other teachers and administrators. And so we hope you'll join us. You can see there, if you didn't happen to go to the orientation, it was recorded, and you can find it there at bit.ly/ATC20present. Remember, capital letters are important. It's case sensitive there. But if you didn't get to see the video is linked there. The submission form is linked there. You can see the whole, well, all but maybe the first 5 minutes, because I'm not always good at remembering to hit record right away. So we strongly encourage, even if you just have an idea, this year there will also be a moderator role. So maybe there's a presenter who's looking for a moderator. Go ahead and check it out. Please join us. It's one of our 2 hallmark or marquee events, or hallmark marquee events. And the more voices from the Alisal, the better. So now, without any further ado, we're going to turn the live stream over to Claudia Melendez, who will be presenting Teacher Connect, which is part of our Blackboard system, which is the name of the system that manages the entire district and school websites. So whenever you're ready, please unmute, Claudia, and you may start presenting.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Josh and EdTech team, for inviting me. It's very exciting, and I'm probably going to become nervous because I've never done these before. And if you guys, any of you are fans of Stephen Colbert, you know that he has been pretty depressed presenting to nobody at all. Well, it kind of feels like that a little bit, like there's nobody there, but I know you're there, but it's a little weird. And anyway, I'm weird anyway. So I wanted to present this to you, and I guess I'll share my screen, right?
Yep.
Somebody said yes. Yes. Yep. Thank you. I'm going to present. Yes, I have to present my entire screen. So I'm going to switch right now. And it doesn't seem to be working.
So remember, you have to click present, and then when you do entire screen, you have to click which desktop. So there's always a second step.
Thank you. Okay, now it's moving in the right direction. So now I'm gonna do the question that we always ask, which is, oh my God, that's not what I wanted to do. Sorry. So can you see it now?
All good.
Perfect. Okay. So that's my little slideshow. I prepared it especially for you all. And I wanted to first talk a little bit very briefly about myself. I have been working as public information officer for the district for 2 years and 8 months, going on my third year. Before coming to the district, I was a journalist. I'm still kind of a part-time journalist. I'm a published author, like it was mentioned earlier. I published a book in 2015 that is based in Salinas, so it's kind of like a story of Salinas. So if we have teachers who are not from Salinas, highly recommended because it's a great read and it's a local story. I've also been a teacher. I've taught English in Mexico, believe it or not. And I've also taught journalism in college and high school. I've founded a couple of nonprofit organizations. One, the Community Information Center, is to promote parental engagement in Spanish-speaking families for school, parental engagement in schools. And Voices of Monterey Bay is an online magazine that is beautiful and has really interesting articles. And of course, I'm the PIO, so. What is Teacher Connect? Teacher Connect, I was approached by one of the principals to try to help him get a way to communicate with parents that was easier. This principal already knew, because most of you already know of other mass communication apps that are out there. I know, for instance, and we'll talk about it later, but anyway, Teacher Connect is a way to access our students and our parents mostly. What has always been very tempting about PowerSchool, Teacher Connect, is that it is already connected to the system we use, and it made the transition a lot easier. It is very difficult sometimes because our families still not very familiar with the internet. So the management of the data, it can be very tricky. So it was always important to have something that would make the transition easier. It is very similar to some apps that I know are used in the district, like Parent Square or Class Dojo or Remind. So it has some features that are like those, and it has some features that are just their own thing in Blackboard Connect. And by the way, I'm going to take questions at the end of the presentation. I have a slideshow, but then I'm gonna ask for pause for questions, and then I'm gonna have a live demonstration of what it looks like, because now all teachers have access to this app through their ALASAL portal. And so I guess I'm going to go in the next. You are all familiar with this ALASAL portal, right? When you log in and you put your name, last name, and then your password, you click on login and it brings you to this portal. When you get into this portal, you will see Blackboard Mass Communications. That's how we're going to enter Teacher Connect, because it's the same company that puts together both products. One very important thing to remember, and if you're the note-taking kind of person, which I am, please take note of this. For you to be able to use Blackboard or Teacher Connect, you have to log in with your name and last name only. So you have to put in Claudia.Melendez and then your password. You do not, and I repeat, you do not add the @alasal.org. If you do, then your app will not work. Make sure that happens, because it is the same story for the the websites. People who try to manage websites and enter the entire email address, it doesn't work. So, okay, so once you are in this portal, you will click on the Blackboard Connect Mass Communications app, and it will bring you to this page right here. And I'm gonna make a brief pause here to thank the teacher, our BRB teacher, Maria de la Luz Aguilera, Lucy, because she allowed me to use her sign-in to create this PowerPoint presentation for you all, because I am I'm the webmaster and I have a lot of capabilities. My sign-on looks very different from these. I have a lot of bells and whistles that I did not want to have for you today because you would get confused. But Lucy allowed me to use these, so thank you, Lucy. You're the best. So once a teacher logs into Teacher Connect, this is what it's going to look like, right? So you have your home and your messages and your reports. And to create a message, you can either click on messages or you can click on create a message. And when you click and create a message, this is what it looks like. And that's my next slide. In the create a message, you will be looking at this screen. And the screen says, type the subject. So I'm gonna walk you through it as if we're creating a subject right now. So the subject will be homework due, for instance. So you type it in the subject, and then you type your what it says here, type for recipients. You don't really need to type for recipients because you already have your list there, right? So Miss Lucy has the list of all classes, and in this case, she only has one class because we are not a high school, so we only have one class each person. So we have one class and then the period, the homeroom. Below that, you can select what time you want to deliver your message. Below that, you have space for you to have different messages. Like if you want to have a recurring message that you just want to save and continue sending, you can do that. Below that, you have a space for languages. We, as you know, a lot of our parents are Spanish speakers. So you have the capability of translating your message into Spanish, or in some cases, it even translates. Yesterday, I learned that we have a Filipino family that gets messages translated for him or her. I'm not sure if it's a man or a woman. And then you have below here, you can see that there's 3 icons. There's the email icon. The next one is the little bubble is for text. And then the next bubble obviously is for phone messages. And then you have your send feature. I will send, we'll look at the next slide to see the text message bubble. The text message right now is only allows for 120 characters. We just purchased an update for it, so it would allow you 140 characters. We know that's not a lot, but usually the way I've been using it, because as you probably know, you may not know, I send a lot of alerts to parents, to families, and to staff occasionally about events that are coming up. Or lately, I've been doing a lot of reminders for surveys. So this is a great place for you to just type the link to a survey, so people can just get the link and click on it and go to it through their email message. If you can see here right below, we have the Spanish language feature. This is, as you can see, you have in the class of Miss Lucy, there's 12% of parents who are English speakers and 88% are Spanish speakers. So this is a great feature to be able to access our parents who do not speak English. So that's the text message feature. Let me go for the next one. They also has a phone message feature. This is great also, again, for English-speaking parents. If your parents are Spanish speakers, there's options to translate, but those are a little bit more complicated. I am not going to dwell on that right now because I've discovered that it really is going to take a while to master that one, and maybe you want to explore it on your own, or you maybe, and if you're bilingual, that's just perfect because you can actually, we can talk about it later, but you can actually record your messages both in English and Spanish, send to all the parents, etc., etc. So that's a really great feature to have. But we're not going to spend a lot of time on that because I want, this is going to be just like an introductory class. And once we, maybe in a few weeks or in a month, or we can have another class, or if you request it, we can have a more advanced class if Josh and the team allows it, and if you request it as well. So then, so that's the phone. Oh, it also has the text-to-speech feature. That one I don't recommend either, and I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because it sounds very robotic, like, and the accent is not very good either. It'll sound like buenos dias. I don't even know how to say it. It's not really a good feature to have, but it's there for you to explore. I like exploring things, so you can always explore and send test calls to yourself. So that's kind of fun. So there's other features that are in there. If you click here on the Outbox or the inbox, what was it? The inbox, yes. You will see that there's already messages that have been received by you as a teacher, and all of them have been sent by yours truly about the power outage, survey that was sent, school closures, things of that nature. So that's where the messages that you have received will be listed. In the Outbox will be listed messages that you have sent, and of course, if you haven't sent anything, like here, Miss Lucy hasn't sent anything, there will be nothing. In the groups, these groups are groups that are created specifically for your school, and I'm not sure if you can access them. I'm going to be very honest with you. I was trying to explore how you would be able to access those, and I couldn't. So not sure if that's something you can access, but it's there, and I promise to have more questions if you have them, and I mean, if you request them, and I will let you know at a later date. Going back to how we create emails. Once you see this screen here in the email, you see this little click here, this icon here that says more. If you click in there, you'll have access to all the editing features that you usually have on a word processing program, the bolding and the italics and underlining, center, etc. So basically, once you are into the app, you have access to a lot of features that any word processing program has. And that's what that one is there for. And then you can also insert a template. The template, it comes with Blackboard Connect, and it looks something like this. This is a template. And you see that you have several templates to choose from. And this is just for you to format emails. If you want to get fancy, you can add a newsletter template or an event or save the date. These are free to us. And so you can get fancy, like I said, and create a really fancy email for your parents. Or not, or you can just type in what something simple. Don't forget homework, etc. This next icon is for you to see a preview of the email, and if you didn't type anything fancy or didn't do any graphics or anything like that, it just looks like a straight up sheet blank paper with letters on it. So nothing too fancy there. Oops. This is what it looks like when you want to do your start time, it does not let you send messages between 9:30 p.m. or 8 a.m. So nothing earlier than 8 and nothing later than 9:30. I usually try to send messages around 6 or 7. That's the time when parents hopefully have already had dinner, and they haven't gone to bed. And I try to keep messages, send them at the same time all the time, so that parents have an idea that this is a message that they should be. They kind of know, oh, this is a message from my teacher, because my teacher always sends messages at 7:45, sort of like announcing what it is that your intentions, right? That's about it. I mean, you can see, I feel like it's a very simple system to use, very intuitive. And before I want to demonstrate to you how it works live. If you have any questions, this is the time to ask them. And then
Sorry,
yeah.
Claudia. We do
Okay.
have a few questions when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready now. And then once we answer the questions, we can I can go to my live demonstration for you. So.
All right. So the first question comes from Jesse G. Sanchez, Mr. Seberg. He asks, does the system translate your verbal messages from English to Spanish?
Not verbally, just text to. It will transfer text to speech, but verbally it will not, unfortunately.
Thank you.
This next question, we've gotten a couple of different questions, but they're around the same topic. So a couple of people are asking about trying to verify or ensure that the phone numbers that are in PowerSchool are correct, because a lot of times they're not working or they're incorrect or old numbers. And so I think one part of that is how can we verify that information is correct? Or if a teacher has an updated phone number, can I somehow manually edit those phone numbers?
That is that's something that can only be done through your clerks, the clerks at the school. And we are hoping that all parents have their updated information with the school. And then one way to do it is if your parent says, I'm not getting any call from the principal or from you, tell them, please make sure that the office has your correct information. So it really is going to be up to our clerks that have that information updated. And as far as I know, our director of technology has been trying really hard to kind of imprint these on the clerks, that we need to have the most updated information. Now, one thing that we did, and that's kind of why it took us a while to implement these, is we had to clean up the database. It was before all over the map with all the different fields, like maybe it was a cell phone that was in a home phone or vice versa, or it was kind of messy, but it has been cleaned up. And part of the reason why it was cleaned up is because we wanted to bring this system on board. And so it's been cleaned up. Hopefully it's a lot cleaner than it used to be, 4 or 5 months ago. I'm sure it still has some glitches, but if it does, then please let your clerk know so that we can make sure that all our parents are on board. Great question.
All right, I have the next one for you, Claudia, and this is from, I think this is going to pertain to people like myself, but more like psychologists and counselors. They want to know, do they have access to Blackboard? Because they don't have managed classes. I think that's why the question would come up. RSP teachers, they don't have a populated class in PowerSchool.
Okay. You know what? I don't think they do, but it's a great question. And maybe what we could do, and I'll talk to our director of technology to see if there's a way that we can create classes for teachers who do not have a classroom, quote unquote classroom. I think there might be a way, but we have to explore that, because I know I can create special lists for special people. Like I have a special list for migrant kids or things of that nature. So, or special classes of children, like McKinney event to children. So I will explore that question and I will get back to you.
Thank you. Somebody is, let's see, who was this? This is from Fremont, is asking if you can insert attachments like PDFs or documents, something else, into messages.
You can insert attachments to emails. And I learned this trick from one of the principals yesterday, that you can also attach a link to a PDF. So you may not attach the actual PDF, but if you have a link to it, then you can send it to your text, and then the parents can click on the link, and then they'll see the PDF. So that's a way to kind of like a run around it, but it's possible for parents to still see your PDF.
Great, thank you. I think you've already answered this next one. It talks about, it says, if I provide a s'more link, I believe s'more is a blog type of thing, s'more link as text, will they be able to open the link?
Yes, and the s'more link, yes, it's like any other attachment. If you put the link in the text, then they will be able to open it. Yeah.
Thank you. This next question is asking about maybe comparing our regular email system to Blackboard. And so if a teacher's already using just a regular email and parents are communicating that way, they're wondering what may be the advantage, or if there is an advantage to using Blackboard instead. And if a parent replies to them, are they going to have to keep checking inside of Blackboard to see all those replies from parents?
So the app that we're using for Blackboard does not allow for replies to happen. So this is only for outgoing messages. If teachers are already using the regular email for communicating with parents, they're welcome to keep using that. I guess this is just an easier method to when you just want to send bulk messages. And I guess if you already have a list of parents that are already there and you're sending the messages, it's fine. I think this one would be easier for if you want to send text messages. Because that's different, and that's something you don't have to be entering all the numbers, and you don't have to be, and parents tend to be more connected to their phones than they are to the emails. So.
All right, Claudia, this question comes from teacher at Fremont, and they want to know a couple of things. First of all, I think you're going to be demonstrating this, so they would like to see, how the phone call option works. I think you'll demonstrate that live in a little bit, so that'll be good. The second question that they're asking is, what is the number they see that a parent would see on their caller ID, when they're getting these, I guess, phone calls?
They will see the number from the I'm not sure if it'd be from the school. No, from the school. The number from the school, because that's also the recording that they will get. I don't know if you've ever received messages from us, from the district, or from the school. Like if teachers, if principals send messages to their teachers or their staff, but at the end of the message, a recording comes on and says, if you have questions, please call Alisal Union School District, or they'll say, call Virginia Roca Barton or Fremont Elementary. So the number that comes is the number from the school. What was the other question?
It has to do, the other question had to do with, they want to see how the phone option works again. So you'll probably show that during the live demo.
Yeah, we'll show that. Mm-hmm.
I think we have one more question for right now, and then maybe some more after your demonstration. But this is from Mrs. Chavez Fremont, who's asking if we can listen to old messages that were sent by the district.
All messages right now or in general?
So I'm thinking Ms. Chavez can maybe write to us and correct me if I'm wrong, but you know how you showed us that our inbox? So
yes,
that inbox are messages that we have received. And so can we go back and like listen to old messages?
I'm not sure if we can listen to that. We can see the text, but I don't think we can see them. We can hear the recordings. Well, let me look, but it's gonna take me a minute or so. How vested are you in this?
Maybe we can check on that during your live demonstration. You can just like click and see if
that's gonna be tricky because, like I said, I'm signed in as one of the teachers.
That's
and I
right.
don't have access to that. Well, maybe I can. Let me see real quickly.
Or we can just make sure that we research it and then just get back to the teacher since we know who sent it.
That would be the easiest thing to do. Like I have to. I probably will have to research it and get back. Yeah.
And I just have Claudia, why I would want to do this, and I'll give you an example. For me as a teacher, I might want to hear a message that parents got from the district or from the site so that I can kind of talk to it. That might be a reason why they might want to know that. But again, we'll wait for Maria and see if she will give us more clarity on that, okay?
Yeah.
So we're ready for you.
And to be honest with you, I'm not, I'm a very curious person. So to me, any question is valid. And I'm just trying to figure out a way to do it. I just don't think, thinking back on how when I access, because I look for reports of the messages I've sent and whatnot. And so I'm trying to think back if I've been able to listen to recordings. I know that text messages are always there. I just don't remember if the voice recording are there. But you know what? I'm here. I'm on my own account right now. So let me see just really quickly if I can see it.
Claudia, I don't know if you're aware, but you're not sharing your screen. And
no, I wasn't trying to, because right now I'm not trying to share right now.
Your camera's also off. We've gotten a couple of questions. Is Claudia's camera off, or is it just me?
Well, I will come off, but I can. You want to see my beautiful face?
I think they do. I think it's a little more engaging than seeing four muted.
Okay. Well, here I am. I'm there, right? Am I there? Yes.
Yes.
Just
a little side note that Cecilia Cava, shout out to her, who just sent me a message saying that she can confirm that you can listen to old messages.
Oh, okay.
So according to this teacher, we can.
Perfect. That's good. And you know, Bardeen school has been, they offered to be our test group, and they have been using it. So if there's somebody from Bardeen who wants to chime in on the chat box and say, hey, I like this. Hopefully everybody likes it. Please, if you don't like it, see me privately. Oh my God, poor Stephen Colbert. Now I know exactly how he's feeling. Okay, I'm going to go now and demonstrate to you live, and I will look for the recording later. I'm glad it's there. I never doubted it, but I wanted to make sure because I don't like giving bad information. How is that for clarity?
Yeah, Cecilia even sent me a screenshot. So under messages, if you're under inbox, you have like just the information from what time it was sent, but the message says like the message is available as a recording. Click here to listen to the message. So definitely possible.
Perfect.
Claudia, and I can confirm, we have a response from somebody at Bardeen that says she is an SLP, a speech and language pathologist, and she is able to send, so there is a way to set it up so that those people that are specialized like counselors and SLPs and psychologists would be able to send messages. So there is a way.
Yeah, and I think that the way we do it is through creating lists. But then what we have to do is give access and maybe everybody has access. So I will definitely research that, and we can have either private sessions or special for those teachers, so they know how to, so they have access to this as well. So thank you. Okay, are we ready for the live demo?
For sure.
Okay.
Just make sure you reshare your screen with us.
Yes, so I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna share, I'm gonna present now. I like to do my screen. And I think it looks like I'm presenting. So can you see now my screen?
Looks good.
Okay. And
just
once
a quick
again,
note, Claudia, just a quick note. Remember that if you're clicking on things, because teachers are on smaller devices, you might just want to zoom in, like, zoom into when you're saying click here, because they might not be able to read what it says.
okay. So, and thanks for George, show me this little trick. So here we are, a little bit on the, remember we signed in, and thanks again, Miss Lucy, for allowing me to use your sign-on to do this. You're awesome. So when you log into Blackboard or Teacher Connect, you will see this will be your first screen, the first screen you see. And like as I told you before, this is live. So we're gonna create a message and click on create a message. And it will bring you to the first, this is gonna be the first screen that you see. That's where you type your subject. Let's call it homework due. And then you will have, I'm not sure why Blackboard does this, but it has, it lists your classes as all, and then the individual class. And I guess it's because it must be that if you have, let's say in high school, because this program is designed for any teacher from any grade level, right? So maybe it's a university level, and it will show all classes, and perhaps you need to send an email to all your students. So that's where you will click it, right? Let's click there to see what it shows, and it shows your parents and students. I discovered recently that the students option doesn't really work that well anymore because of the issue that was brought up earlier, which is the listing. It's more accurate right now with the parents. So that's what you would choose. But I've also learned recently that is really the period that has the most updated information. And if you click on that, when it says period 1A, which is your actual classroom, in this case is Miss Lucy's classroom, you click on that. And you click on here. And you click on the little and three little buttons there, and you can choose all of your students, or you can choose specific parents. You don't even need to use you don't even need to select both parents. You can select one or the other if you just want to select one or the other. But if you want to just select everybody, just click on there, and the information on students is not updated. So it's enough if you just leave the parents in there. So that's already who is selected for your email, for your message, email, or text, whatnot. This is where you select the time. Again, try to select a later time, or a time that your parents will know this is when you're sending it. And then you save it. In your saved messages, you will see if you have drafts or other messages that you may want to reuse for later time. If you start a message here and you didn't finish, it will save it for you. And then before this is where it shows you your languages, right? This is where it allows you to translate. Before you have to write your message. This is very important. You have to write your message before you select the language, because if you do not write anything, it will not translate anything. So you can say, don't forget tomorrow, this week's homework is due. And once you select the language, Spanish, See how it creates a separate window? And it has translated the message for you. No olvide que mañana vence la tarea de esta semana. The Spanish is a little, can be a little faulty, but it is, you know, I would say 90% okay. So you can choose that and you will see that it's translated it for you. If you want, you can modify your Spanish version. Que mañana la tarea, que mañana hay que traer la tarea. If you want to do that. And then to go back to your English language message, you click on the English and there you have it. You have it in both languages now. Are you seeing this fine, Celia, George? Is this a
Looks
big?
Good.
Okay, good.
Looks good.
And the same thing with your text, right? In your text, by now, you have to also do the same thing. You have to have your text already written up before you click on the language feature. So, party tomorrow. So if that's a text you want to send and you already have the Spanish language clicked in there, you click in there. And it didn't translate anything. Why? Because when we started the text on the text bubble and the text message there, the language already was selected. So you would have to start it again. So you have to write. You would have to write all your context for all your messages in English before you select the Spanish feature. So you already have in your email, and then you have it on your text messages, and then you have it on your phone message. For your phone message, there's several options you can use. Call me to record, and that's calling on your cell phone. And then this is where you enter the number. That's kind of like the way I've been doing it, but I've discovered something that is really, really exciting. I just discovered that yesterday, is that if you use your microphone, you can record a message in English, and then you can record your message in Spanish. So you can have your both messages with one phone call, with one message. You can send a specific message for your English-speaking parents and one from your Spanish-speaking parents. And once you're ready with everything you have, you can send. If I click on these now, I would be sending messages, but I don't have any text, so I can click to see, and you can see what it's going to tell me, which is like, please provide audio for phone in English and Spanish. So obviously I'm not ready to send these, so I am going to stop. And we're not going to send anything anyway, because we don't want to send anything to Miss Lucy's parents. So this is the live demo for the app. Any questions? I'm going to stop presenting unless there are questions that want to show screen.
There might be, but here's we do have some questions for you.
Okay.
And before we get to this next question, there's a question about the 120 character limit. So yes. I know that we may not be able to change that very much more than 140, but remember that you can add an attachment. So if it's a longer piece of text, you can add an attachment, or you can use a link. So just a little tip for that person, Ms. Trujillo, who asked. The question is, how can we confirm that parents received the message, or that they've opened it perhaps?
Oh, well, there's a message tracking feature right here. Very handy.
Ooh, cool.
And so you can it's going to just be giving you messaging tracking for you. So let's see what kind of access Miss Lucy has. So if we ask for a generate report right now, let's see what it says. And it says no messages found because Miss Lucy has not sent any messages yet, but you can track, you can find out who's receiving messages, who not, through this message tracking. So
that's a nifty little feature. I like it. Let's see, there's a question about sending messages to potentially individuals or small groups. Say, for example, only my migrant students have something coming up that I need to remind them of, not the whole class. So can I just send a message to a small group?
Yeah, so you can choose them individually from the home or inbox, or you can also create lists. And that's create list. Let's see. Well, you can, probably the easiest way, if it's your migrant students in just your class, you can just select them individually and select the parents. And hopefully it's not that many of them. I know that I pick up the, let me see if I type in something and it pops up. We do have the ability to create groups, and that's kind of another advanced feature. So let me research that. And usually when I type this here, it allows me to do that. It's not happening here. It may be because of the features that Miss Lucy has access to, but let me research that and I'll get back to you.
This question may need a little more clarity because I thought I understood it, but it says, will email let us have both English and Spanish in the same email, or is it either or?
So when you create a message, you have the option. So that's a very good question. When you create a message, like this is your screen, right? If you type in here, a very long letter in English and Spanish, then you are welcome to send that to everybody, and everybody will get the same message both in English and Spanish. So that's one way you can do this. Or you can write your email in English. Hi, hope you're well. And then when you select the language and you see the translation, that means that message will only go in English to your English-speaking parents and in Spanish to your Spanish-speaking parents. And how the system knows that is because the parents are choosing the language they want to communicate in. So you can do either way. You can send the same message to everybody, or you can send a message that only goes to your Spanish-speaking parents or the English-speaking parents.
All right, Claudia, we are getting to about the 10-minute warning, and we always tell people, we're almost done here, and then a whole bunch of questions come in. So if there's no more questions, we're caught up with the questions. So if you have any final questions, you better send them in now. So maybe we'll give them a little bit of time. I had a question, but I think you've answered it as I'm stalling a little bit. My question was, I noticed that you have to do the email, the text message, and the phone call separately, right? You can't just create one and then it kind of turns it into those pieces. So I think that's correct, right? You have to do them under each of those tabs.
And the reason why I think that it does it is because the email can have a lot of characters and it's not the same. Oh yeah, in the email you can attach, use attachments. Anyway, because there's such different features. The email, you can have a lot of characters, and the text only has 140. So you really need to tailor your message to your medium, and that's why. Yeah, that's the short answer to that. When you have a lot more features like principles, and like I have access to posting things on the website, so there's one specific window for a template, and they let you use that for everything. But because there's only 3, I think that's why you don't have a template in these when you have access for teachers.
All right, and we did get one more question that came in, but I think it's related to groups, and you've already kind of said that you are going to look more into that. So yeah. One of the things that we will do for those of you that have, some of these questions that that Claudia shared, she's going to look into. We will share these questions that still are open, or she's going to research with her, and then hopefully she will, communicate that to us what those answers are. So yeah.
And so, well, let me, what I'm going to do is look for a message that I sent so I can, so I can play the message for you, because I feel like that's something I should be able to do. And it's telling me, oh, I know why.
And when you're ready, if you're going to share your screen, don't forget that, okay?
Yes, I will do that. Okay. I'm going to share my screen again. You're going to be more listening than anything, but still, you get a private access to my report, to the message tracking report. Well, this is what it looks like when you send messages from the district. So meals being served reached 13,000 people. And if you click in there, you will see 87%. It was delivered to 87% and non-delivered to 1,769 numbers, so about 13%. And this is a breakdown of what happened. It was an answer machine, live answer, recipient hung up, recipient not delivered, not answer, recipient has phone number. This is when you click on the content, that's right, this is where you find your recording. And so here's a recording that I sent. I'll play it for you.
Este mensaje se repite en español. This message will be repeated in Spanish. Dear parents of the Alisal Union School District, this is a reminder that all students enrolled in the Alisal Union School District are eligible to receive free meals. Every meal consists of breakfast and lunch. Meals are distributed from noon to 1:30 p.m. Monday through Friday at all sites of the Alisal USD. Alisal, Barden, Chavez, Creekside, Frank Paul, Fremont, MLK, Loya, VRV, Sanchez, Steinbeck, and Montebello. Only students enrolled in our district can participate, but they can pick up the meals from any of our schools. Estimados padres.
Do we need to hear it all, or should we stop now?
I think we are about set. We don't have any further questions. So
Okay.
yeah. Josh, you want to take it over, Josh?
Well, thank you so much, Claudia, for helping us with that. I think based on some things today, there's definitely some interest in it, and I think you're probably going to have to do a part 2, whether you want to or not. So I don't think it's really a matter of whether or not we let you. I think there's a lot of, it sounds like maybe as we get from our teachers sometimes some homework on how to do stuff in our own tools. So it sounds like you have some. So I really appreciate that. I just wanted to say that I hope you all have a good weekend. And as we say at the end of all of these, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and be good to our kids. Have a great rest of your day and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good weekend, everybody.